On the historic night that 17-year-old sensation Luke Littler became the Premier League champion, you join us at Champions Week, where somebody's name will sit alongside his in being etched onto the Modus Super Series trophy.
Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
Reese Robinson!
Conor Henahan!
Bradley Roos. Neil Duff.
Andreas Dirty Harrison! It's Jimmy Van Schie!
Bradley Brooks! Kieran Tian!
Bow and arrow, Bo Green! Labanauskas!
Cam Crabtree!
Yeah, they've all won the little one, but Littler has won the big one, not just the Super Series trophy twice, but now the Premier League as well. Congratulations to him from all at the Modus Super Series, where he gained legendary status as a 16-year-old. Matthew Edgar is alongside me. We've just seen all the players that are going to be competing for this trophy, and it's now even more of an honour, isn't it, to have your name on that roll of honour?
Yeah, I was here when Luke Littler was going through the Super Series, and I was privileged to be part of those weeks. And during those weeks, it really did feel like we was watching something special. And we knew that at the time that we was watching something special. But the thing is, I kind of get that feeling that history's kind of repeating itself a little bit, because I feel we're watching something special once again this week in regards to what we're seeing with Bo Greaves. But Luke Littler, when he was here a year ago, it meant so much to him to be picking up that title and to be picking up the £20,000. And look at the prize fund he's just took tonight. It's more than 10 times the price of that. So it just shows that these pathways are here in darts, and they are working all the way from the JDC right the way through now to the Premier League champion.
Yeah, and first time he played here, he qualified as an ADC, an amateur qualifier, Littler. It's a remarkable story, and there are many more chapters to come. But what an inspiration for anyone that sets foot on that stage.
He's the first really to fly the flag of the new systems. The old system used to be you played in your pub, your Super League, County, International, then you played the Opens. But darts is changing. And Luke Littler's like the first project of that in regards to coming directly through Academy Darts and going through that JDC system and the ADC system to bring him here. So he's the first sort of trailblazer of that, and there are plenty of other people following that line as well. We're seeing Jensen Walker here and Thomas Banks and quality young players that are now just showing the new pathway to darts and the development that I think is going to push darts even further.
Yeah, we had some very good darts this afternoon. Obviously, Littler, the kind of benchmark for people to achieve here, but we saw plenty of high-quality stuff this afternoon in Group C, didn't we?
This afternoon's group was incredible. When we looked going into that last game, we looked at the session average and we compared that to what we saw in regards to the Pro Tour. And the session average would have had the players roughly about number 42 in the world in regards to the running Pro Tour stats. So just to really put some context on those numbers to really highlight how good of an afternoon that was.
Particularly, I mean, 5 players on 6 points as well. We're just talking about the quality there. The drama tomorrow could be incredible, but particularly Andy Davidson, again, a player unknown, qualified for the amateur dart circuit, top of Group C with a 96.46 average for the day. It
makes you wonder how many Andy Davidsons there's been out there in the world that we just haven't heard of or seen, because when you look at the pathway that Andy Davidson has taken through the ADC, through that localised and then the regional, national sort of to come down here to the Super Series, that's a pathway that didn't exist a couple of years ago. And now there's an opportunity to go into these local areas and unearth these talents. And this could be life-changing for Andy Davidson. We saw what it did 12 months ago to people like Luke Littler. We saw recently with Scott Taylor. It changes your career. We're talking this now £25,000. This nearly a year's salary just in that prize fund, and that's forgetting all the bonuses and groups that they're playing for as well. So that can really change 2024 and next year for a player.
Yeah, well, Group C check, Premier League check, plenty more darts to come. This evening it's the start of Group B. We will go through it by looking through the betting, actually, for this group. Cam Crabtree made the favourite, the last player to qualify. Jimmy Van Schie, the outsider. Your old nemesis, Darius Labanauskas, at 5-1 might represent value. And Bradley Brooks and Conor Henahan, they've got something to go on because they saw them in Group A earlier this week.
We did, but I think there was a bit of moments there which would concern me. Conor Henahan, for example, featuring in the bottom 3 averages on all 3 days. Now, that means the range is a bit too big, and in a group like this, you're going to get punished. I think the outsiders of this group do represent value. They're coming into this in form. They was both playing in WDF ranking events over the weekend, and they both picked up titles. That also qualifies them for the World Masters. We know Jimmy Van Schie is close to Lakeside as well. And when you've got things on the horizon and to look forward to, it tends to perk you up a little bit. You tend to practice more and try more. And I think this is at the perfect time for both those players. So I'd say the outsiders represent strong value.
We've seen really high quality groups so far and a super standard across the board this week. Are you expecting more of the same tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I don't see a weak player here, and you wouldn't expect to. It's Champions Week. And I think the players are just going to keep bringing the best out in each other. That's what we saw this afternoon. One player rose it, the next one did. It was almost like anything you can do, I'm going to go and try and beat that, or I'm going to do better. And I think that's going to be the attitude tonight. I think it'll probably be quieter in the practice room, knowing the characters and the type of personalities. And I don't think it's going to really bubble up properly till there's been a lap or two of fixtures.
Final question. Luke Littler, going back to him, he hit a 9-darter in that Premier League final as well, for those who mentioned it. He never provided one on that stage for us, did he? That's something that we'll miss.
Well, we do want to see one at the Champions Week, don't we? And I actually predicted one on commentary earlier on, and it was that very similar story to Luke Littler, the player who's already through to Saturday night, Bo Greaves. I've got a feeling she's going to treat us to that special moment.
There we go. Well, Luke may not have hit one on that stage, but Conor Henahan, he's hit 2, in fact 3 in total in this event, and he's playing Darius Labanauskas in his opening match and spoke to Robbie Dove earlier this evening.
Connor, welcome to Group B here at Champions Week. How are you feeling ahead of your second campaign of the week?
Not too bad, I suppose. Group A was tough. So many good players now, and I expect Group B to be the same tonight.
It was a hard group. There was a lot going on, a lot of points scored. So how do you rate your performances over the course of the first 3 days?
Up and down, I suppose. There was games that I was losing that were killing my leg difference kind of thing. Bo bet me, I think, twice 4-0, so it was killing me that way. But I was still in games at times, and so I see what happens tonight.
Talk to me about that last game against Kieran Tian. Did you know that winning would see you in Group B?
Yeah, I did, because I knew me and Andreas were on level points. I think Andreas lost his last game, so that meant if I won, obviously I was through, no matter if the leg difference or not. So I knew that if I won, I'd have a much better chance, 3 out of 5 tonight. So
how did it feel getting that 7th leg?
Yeah, I was lucky enough. It went 3-all. I think I've only won one game this week that hasn't been 4-3, so it's not too bad. We'll see what happens tonight.
Any expectations ahead of this evening at all?
Just if I play well, that I think I'd still be up there. I have a lot of experience here, so I'd hope to think that I'd be able to get out of the group.
Lastly, you finally obviously won yourself a weekly final. What would the big trophy with your name engraved on it mean to you?
It'd be massive, yeah. Everyone wants to get your name on it. I think it's 7th now, so it'd be great to have it, and it'd boost your career as well, so we'll see what happens.
Well, I hope you play well, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Interesting, getting a bit of insight from the player. That player was Conor Henahan, and he's up against someone you know very, very well, Matt Edgar.
Well, I don't know him too well because I weren't around long enough to really get to know him. He had me out of the World Championship very, very quickly, but a great guy, really talented dart player, and I'm actually surprised to see him not without a PDC tour card, and no surprise to see him here on Champions Week. But he's going to have his hands full here, and he's going to get a flavour for players he's not played against before. And that's going to be an interesting prospect for a player who has just recently picked up a title and got himself back in the winner's closure, getting himself in the World Masters, and maybe we're going to see him make a bit of an attack on Lakeside as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. on his Group A campaign.
First leg, it's
Good to
Darius
see
to throw
him
first.
finish up in position
Game on.
3. Our referee, Jack Garwood. Familiar face for those of you that watch the Online Darts Live Lounge, of course.
140.
Regular fixture now here at the Modus Super Series. I'm a big fan of Darius. I rate him highly, and Connor averaged just over 87 for his Group A campaign. And do you think that will be enough to come through this group? A running average of around 87, Matt?
I think it's more to do with the range
60.
here tonight, because what you've got people that are going to be very consistently around that sort of 90 mark. And if you have one of those off games,
100.
that's where it could be the problem. That's where you could lose points.
Yeah, where it come undone, because he averaged sort of in the mid-70s on one or two occasions. And I just don't think you're going to get away with it. Well, he didn't get away with it in Group C. I don't think he's going to get away with it in this group. Darius, of course, vastly experienced. Held a tour card for many years, didn't he?
Yes, he's
97.
been around the system quite some years now, quite some time. Was knocking on the door of other big majors, such as the World Match Play at times. So just missed out on those, and had he got into those events, who knows where it could have taken him. He was always a dangerous player, not just on the floor, but on the TV stages as well. But Conor Henahan, you say about slipping into those 70 averages, every day in Group A campaign, the bottom 3 averages featured Conor Henahan. Double 16.
Game shot
That
on
was
the
a
first
fine
leg.
start there for Darius Labanauskas. He has settled into life very quickly here on Champions Week.
Second leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
Well, on debut, that's
32.
seriously tidy start, isn't it? A fairly fuss-free opening leg of 15 darts. I suppose at this early stages, pass on my congratulations to
140.
Luke Littler, and we sat and watched the whole final, didn't we? It was absolutely incredible, including a wonderful 9-dart finish, just as the icing on the cake and the cherry on the top.
Special talent.
135.
Yeah, he sure is. 47 now, Darius. Don't know.
100.
Think back when I can first recall him playing competitive darts. It was
100.
Yeah, it was probably on the back end of when I was finishing. He was starting to make a bit of a name for himself.
180.
That's been a real big feature of this week so far, the maximum hitting, and we haven't had to wait long in our Group B action to get our first. A treble 19 here for Darius Labanauskas gives him a dart at the ball to break the throw of Conor Henahan and resist the max.
101. Connor, you require 54. $34. Darius, you require 25.
Well, there's one thing. You don't give Darius too many chances at these, because he just gobbles up these low combination shots for fun.
Darius Labanauskas.
Well, he backs up the 15, Matt, with a 14-dart breaker throw, and he looks very, very comfortable. He must be loving this environment. Experience of playing, of course, as we've already said, on the Pro Tour, where the players do play in booths, but
100.
This is the kind of environment players love. You're on a stage and you're under the lights.
140.
There's just no distractions. It's literally perfect.
I like the fact when they're played up there that it's called like it is with a crowd in. If you think about the Pro Tour environment, so when it's a 180, they just go 180.
85.
Yeah. Here you get the full Jack Garwood 180.
Well, those that don't understand probably don't get it, but it just does make you feel good.
Was there ever someone you wanted to call a 180 for you? For me, it was always Russ Bray and George
60.
Noble. They was the two like really iconic 180s.
Yeah, I was fairly lucky, and I played in the era, of course, with
98.
Bruce Benley and Freddie Williams. Obviously, Martin Fitzmaurice, George Noble.
Was Bruce the one who every time you won the leg went, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his thing.
70.
Marco Meyer now using that as well. So when we see here at the Super Series.
70.
Well, if there's one thing that this week has taught us already, it's a lot of the games are going to run
60.
close. So if you
Connie
can get a
require
big victory somewhere
136.
with a big difference in the legs, that could pay like an extra point.
Yeah, leg difference could be absolutely huge in this particular
40.
group.
Darius, you require 126.
I mean, the Group C, the top 5 are separated by 3 legs. That's it. He does love a ball.
101. Connor, you require 96. $40. Darius, you require 25.
Nine for double 8 is the route he's
Game
picked,
shot on
and
the
he
third
finds it.
leg. Darius
3 from 6 on the
Labanauskas.
doubles, 50%, an average of 92.02. He's taken to this like a duck to
Full
water.
flag. It's Connor to throw
It's
first.
the functionality
Game
of the performance here from Darius Labanauskas so that is so impressive. And that is in the fact that
140.
whenever he's got an opportunity, he stamps it out. He doesn't give Conor Henahan another visit to the board. He gets down, he goes out. It's like playing one of those computer apps.
81.
Welcome along to the YouTube chat. Welcome along to those watching via their chosen betting app. This is Group B, 5-player field. It's the positions 2 and 3 from Group A are joined by Jimmy Van Schie, Cam Crabtree and Darius Labanauskas.
45.
And of course, from Group A, this young man, Conor Henahan and Bradley Brooks, the top 3 after
45.
2 nights of action. Total of 10 matches tonight and 10 tomorrow night. Will join Bo Greaves. She was the winner of Group A.
133.
And we have no clue about Group C because 5 of the players are on 6 points. And Bradley Roos didn't manage to find a win in a
140.
very high quality field and high quality group this afternoon.
Never seen a Group C personally to that
133.
sort of standard
Conor, you
before.
require
Really,
36.
really high afternoon, and the evening kicking off just as well.
Game shot on
Conor
the full
Henahan
flag.
getting his
Conor
first leg on
Henahan.
the board. And it's not just us that believe that. Lee Britton as well, who's joining us this evening. Thank
Fifth
you
flag.
for your
It's Darius
company
to
this
throw
evening.
first. Game on.
Saying the standard for the last couple of days has been insane.
Yeah, it sure has. There was a stage today where the group average
81.
was hovering around the 93 mark. That is quite something. If you do have any questions or comments, fire away.
85.
You do have, well, we do have the chat open in the commentary box. Keep it civil, keep it sensible, and we'll endeavour to
100.
answer any of your questions. Good evening, David.
$96.
just threw himself into that shot a little bit there, Darius Labanauskas, and again, just like he can, just steadies himself.
60.
Realised he just put a bit too much into it and just had a bit of a reset, just took a moment.
Ben asks what betting apps show this other than Bet 365. Pretty much, well, over 40 of them, I do believe.
Just looking at the scoreboard to the left-hand side there, just to make sure he can try and leave a finish. The 25 would have left him one, but missing the target and giving Conor Henahan a chance here. If he can find a couple of trebles, he might fill it up.
140.
Puts him in reasonable striking distance of getting one of the breaks a throw that he's going to need.
$140. Connor, you require 80.
Labanauskas poised.
64.
He wanted
Darius,
the
you
25
require
and then the
38.
ball.
That looks inviting, just to sit one on top, the way that Labanauskas starts, sit in the board.
Well, he did, but it didn't go in.
Game shot and the match.
Well, third time
Darius
lucky there for Darius Labanauskas, and he gets himself over the line. Ironic use of the word lucky there for the man nicknamed Lucky D, Darius Labanauskas. 2 points on the board. A strong victory there over Conor Henahan, who's been here all week, who has raised his levels tonight up to the near 95 average, but it wasn't good enough on this occasion. He's just got to try and stick to that level, and I'm sure the opportunities will present themselves. But coming up next, Bradley Brooks, been in the same position. He's been here since Monday. He's taking on Jimmy Van Schie.
So one game down, 9 to go in Group B on the opening night of action, and the first appearance at Champions Week for Jimmy Van Schie, the towering Dutchman, takes on Bradley Brooks in his opener. Brooks, who was very, very competitive, the closest to stopping Bo Greaves winning Group A earlier in the week, and will fancy his chances in this group. But Van Schie's got his own Super Series story. The 30-year-old, well, not only did he win the darts, but also the hearts of the crowd here in Portsmouth when he had that iconic winning week. Brooks knows what it takes to win on the big stage, former World Youth Champion, 24 years of age, and he's looking to bounce back from the loss of his professional tour card by taking glory here at the Super Series. Guiding you through each dart tonight, I'll hand you back to Matthew Edgar and Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, I'm fascinated to see firsthand
Jimmy to throw
Jimmy
first.
Van Schie
Game
in
on.
action. He's the 10 to 11 shot. Bradley Brooks 4 to 5. That raised a few eyebrows. I've been impressed with Bradley Brooks so far, and interestingly, I don't like to do this eye thing, but I don't think I've known of another player
137.
from this area. And Breda, I won a massive tournament back in the day in Breda. Played my first game at 9 a.m. Stood on
60.
stage at 10:30 at night to play the final.
Standard.
Yeah. And there was there must have been 50 odd boards in there. It was thousands of people.
108.
I still managed to go out after.
It's got to be said that Jimmy Van Schie has probably been one of the most improved players I've come across for
98.
the last few years, because actually he was someone I came across a couple of years ago, and, well, I don't think you'll mind me saying, I'll try and say it in the most polite term. It wasn't as
140.
good, shall we say.
How did your paths cross?
I saw him at a Challenge Tour event,
Right, okay.
58. Jimmy, you require 44.
and on that occasion, I can't say I was impressed, but this past year he must have been doing something away from the hockey,
36.
and I want to know what it was, because he has turned into quite the force. He's been taking ranking points on the WF circuit. He's won a week here. He's booked many tickets here through ADC qualification on the
93.
European
Jimmy, you
system,
require 8.
and he's picked up a title this past week in Austria, which also will see him in the
Game
World
shot on the
Masters,
first
and
leg. Jimmy Van
he's going to be
Schie.
one of the people you're going to put down as one of the front runners for that title.
Second leg. It's Bradley to throw first. Game on.
That was a 14 darter, and it can happen. We've seen it before, Matt, haven't we? Where players do really, once that penny drops and it
100.
clicks, they can make really quick improvements. And listen, the fundamentals are all right. There's a few little idiosyncratic movements, but
25.
Adam Gillian says there should be a former world champ week. What do you reckon, Matt and Chris? And if you can find me 12 eligible and capable world
95.
champions, then reel them off for me and we'll have a think about it.
$78.
And of course, former world champions that are still very much active.
$139.
Good response, this. From Brooks. Did take a bit of a while to get going in Group B, didn't
Bradley
Group A,
require
but once he got going, he
167.
secured his place in Group B with position 2 in the table.
95.
Here's a good one. Chris and Matt, what's your
58.
favourite country you
Bradley
visited
require 72.
when covering playing darts? We'll do this after this leg.
Game shot on a second leg. Bradley
Didn't have
Brooks.
to wait long. Ooh. I absolutely loved Holland when I was playing, doing exhibitions, but
Third leg. It's Jimmy to throw
I
first.
love America.
Game
I just
on.
think it's America and Canada for me. I just absolutely love it out there.
I used to love the Pro Tour when they used to put it on London, Ontario, because they had the all-you-can-eat Chinese for like
100.
$3.95, wasn't it? It was
I was
brilliant.
more thinking about the people and the
Oh, right, yeah.
surroundings. Although the food is fabulous there, I know the exact place you're on about.
57.
$3.90. What can you get for $3.95? And all you can eat.
They used to be a dollar bar in Vegas. It's not there anymore, of course. That
95.
Vegas people, there's a bit of a misconception. Vegas was really cheap to go to and really cheap to stay at. No longer the case, but yeah, everything in this bar was $1. Everyone else was like minimum $5 chips and everything. In there, you could get 25-cent chips. Everything you wanted, food, drink, $1. Everything was $1.
82.
David asks, Chris, do I get paid more having to sit behind Matt for the next few hours? No, I get paid
100.
less. Just to cover his extortionate salary.
Got to share the wealth now, Chris. You've had your turn.
Yep.
60.
I don't mind. Chris and Matt, do you enjoy playing soft tip darts?
No.
96.
Ditto. It's
Jimmy,
just,
you require
no,
164.
doesn't do anything for me.
92.
Good use of the board
Bradley
there
require
from Jimmy Van Schie to find
114.
an open target that works out quite well for him. Same target here for Bradley Brooks, leaves him tops for a possible break of throw.
74.
There was spells
Jimmy, you
in
require
Group A where he was
72.
irresistible on double tops.
Yeah, it was very rare that he actually missed it. Just slightly off radar there, did bend the top wire.
Ricky McDowell, good evening, Mace. And Prime Time.
54.
I'm a long-time
Bradley
subscriber
require
to
40.
Edgar TV. You were on that earlier, weren't you?
It was. Getting closer.
20.
Well, that is
Jimmy,
something you wouldn't
require
have done in Group A.
18.
Missed 3 darts
No.
at tops and had the other one. That's 4 missed opportunities there for Bradley Brooks.
He had it on the end of a
Game shot on
string
the third
as
leg. Jimmy
Jimmy Van
Schie.
Schie makes it 2-1. Encouraging
Fourth
start.
flag. It's Bradley
Always
to throw
do worry
first.
about the new players coming
Game
in
on.
because they're coming up against players that have had 3 days on the board and they're right up to speed
97.
and should be in this group because you've done well in Group A, finishing in positions 2 and 3. You should come into it with a fair bit of confidence.
My only concern for
58.
players in this position is just the long time between. So you get used to after 3 days of waking up to play darts at 9:30.
Dart lag, you call it,
Dart
don't
lag,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting up at 6 o'clock
44.
in the morning to have breakfast and prepare for your tournament to start at 9:30. So on Wednesday, you're used to that 6 o'clock. So then you get to bed, you feel tired early, so you fall asleep,
45.
which means you wake up early again. And then by the time it comes around to the evening session, there's that bit of
You're
fatigue.
pooped. Yep.
Yeah. I always find that
60.
them Group A players do struggle a little bit on the first day. By tomorrow, it's all back in body clock in line, but you can just have that
125.
little bit of lag.
$140. $99. Bradley, you require 160.
Beautiful. Can he reacquaint himself with tops?
140.
Well, not happening at the moment up there. But on this occasion, he will get another opportunity.
134. Bradley, you require 20. $15. Jimmy, you require 40.
He's having an absolute mare. Could find himself 3-1 down and in a world of trouble.
$30. Bradley, you require 5.
The story of the game so far is the missed doubles.
Yeah, 18 darts at a double. Make that 19. Ooh. Now you can see the hole just on the inside part of the wire.
Jimmy, you require 10.
Gives it an old-fashioned look, but between them, 20 darts at a double, 3 hit.
Game shot on a 4 flag, Jimmy Van Schie.
I don't think either
5th
player
flag,
looking
it's Jimmy
too
to throw first.
settled in the demeanour up there at the moment. They know what they've been playing and how they've been playing, and sometimes when you just drop that performance level a little bit, you can sense it when you're up there on the stage, when you're asking yourself
100.
for that level.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's something that the opponent recognises as well quite quickly and can pick up on. Uses
41.
Extraordinarily long points, doesn't he?
$59. $100.
Great to see our moderators on the ball this evening.
85. $125. $59.
Well, Jack Smith has given us 12. Let me just read these out for you, Matt. Tell me what you think. Duzzer, Martin Adams,
140.
Trina Bow, Lisa Ashton, Scott Mitchell, Scott Wace, Christian Kist, John Parr, Makura Suzuki, Richie Burnett, Steve Beaton next year. There's the 12.
Well, that's not too bad, other than the fact we've got to wait a minimum
Bradley
8 months
require
before
95.
we can put that one on. Oh, he doesn't like this. He doesn't feel there's a way in. You saw by the face, the roll of the eyes, but
45.
we've seen that a lot, and now
Jimmy,
he
you
loses
require
another dart to the
60.
floor, and Jimmy Van Schie could get the points on the board. 20 for tops.
$50. Bradley, you
More.
require 50.
This darts at double. 24 darts have been thrown at double in this game so far. Can he reacquaint himself? He
Game
can.
shot on a 5th flag,
He had
Bradley
a
Brooks.
very positive love affair with tops in the Group A campaign.
6th
I
flag,
reckon
it's
they should
Bradley
also
to
do a
throw first.
runner-up of the World
Game
Cup.
on.
No, nobody remembers runner-ups.
60. $140. $93.
Yeah, I'm sure he did, Mark. Send me a link to that.
$140.
Well, this is a move here from Jimmy Van Schie. Back-to-back 140s. That's the thing with this short format game. You only have to
42.
be on it for a very short period of time to really get a grip or to drive yourself over the line. Jimmy can see the finishing line. A hat-trick of 140s now.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful leg in the scoring phase. 81 after 9. This is the way to close a game out.
59.
Treble
Jimmy,
19,
require
double 12
51.
incoming.
Didn't chase down the ball, didn't need to,
Game
and he
shot
gets the
and the
job
match,
done in the end.
Jimmy
It was a
Van
shake of the
Schie.
head there from Jimmy Van Schie over the overall performance, but that was absolutely spot on at the end there. A 12-dart leg, but Bradley Brooks just questioning a few things here, and maybe just sensing a hard spot on the board, which sometimes you get from the compression. He did lose a couple of darts on the floor in that game, but it's Jimmy Van Schie who takes the couple of points from it, an average of nearly 88 and a 12-darter to see him over the line. We've got one more player to bring you, and then you've seen the lot. It's Cam Crabtree. He takes on Darius Labanauskas.
Game 3 then here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth on Champions Week in Group B features two of the players who won in the last 3 weeks of qualifying for the big Series 7 finale. Cam Crabtree, the final player to reach Champions Week, takes on Darius Labanauskas, and both of these players could represent good value in terms of winning the whole thing. Crabtree, the 20-year-old, he's got a really high ceiling, but did show even in his finals night performances just last week that there's the other spectrum, the other end of the spectrum to his game as well. Darius Labanauskas kind of stuttered through the qualifying campaign, but then had a very good finals night. Crabtree then in action for the first time this week, and guiding you through that action are Chris Mason and Matthew Edgar.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's Cam to throw first.
I did watch his weekly campaign. Big fan of Cam Crabtree and the story behind him. Still a player very much in the evolutionary
96.
process of his career. Darius Labanauskas, I thought, was very good in his opening match. It was very steady away,
100.
winning 4-1 with a 96 average exactly.
It was the functionality.
94.
Yes, we were both impressed.
When he got an opportunity, you didn't get a second chance. And yes, he missed darts at doubles. He was 4 from 9, Darius Labanauskas, but at no point was any of those
140.
misses actually presenting a new chance. So functionality-wise, 100%.
Yeah, they made They made Cam the 4-6
93.
favourite for this one, which we were quite surprised at.
I'd never feel comfortable odds on against Darius Labanauskas. He's one of those tricky
100.
customers, and he plays with that type of pace that can just upset the rhythm a little bit.
And he's one of those kind of players that you think
140.
I should be getting the
Darius
better of, and then the
Uruguay,
next thing you know, you find
161.
yourself trailing, or he's right on your coattails.
$60. Cam Uruguay, 78.
Just a couple of singles needed for Crabtree to get a dart. He will get a dart at tops, and the way his dart's light,
58.
just keep the dart out the way.
Because Cam was one of the players
Darius
that
Uruguay, 101.
really got into the game during lockdown, wasn't he? He was playing a lot of the online darts. And he averaged, what was it, 115.62 on debut.
Oh, it was a
49.
incredible
Cam
debut,
Uruguay,
and
20.
one of the real success stories of the online darts period.
Game shot on the first leg, Cam Crabtree.
Adam wants to know, hi Chris, how was your experience on the Modus stage? Yeah, listen,
Second leg, it's Darius to throw first.
we were
Game
part of the
on.
whole, as everybody else was here, the whole development of this idea and concept, and
100.
everybody was consulted on what they thought and how it could be improved. And but yeah, like I keep saying, and like if you
125.
listen to the players when they're interviewed, they absolutely love playing here. It is the most perfect environment to produce your very best darts. Not saying that everybody does, but
131.
we have seen some staggering numbers over the period we relocated to the live lounge here in Portsmouth.
We say not everyone does, but the
140.
players that don't, it's on them, not the environment or the conditions or the circumstances.
Yeah, of course, players can arrive here in a dip in form and a lack of confidence.
80.
We saw that with Bradley Brooks, didn't we? He's not been picking up wins out on the various tours, but came here, won his week, and now he's in a Group
58.
B campaign on Champions Week.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever happens this week, he has started
60.
to move in the right direction and produce some numbers I'm sure he'll be very happy with, and some performances.
140. Darius Uruguay, 130.
Puts one over the top of that one. Looked inviting, gives him a dart at the ball. He's just checking the score to see where Crabtree was, and now he knows he's got to go for it, and a
105.
fine effort, but
Cam Uruguay,
just a little
38.
wide past the post.
Game shot on the second leg, Cam Crabtree.
We were speaking about players earlier on, wasn't we? And one of the players we actually discussed for
Third
a
leg,
brief
it's
period
come to
was
throw
Leamington
first.
Spa's Nigel
Game on.
Hayden. That setup there from Crabtree reminds me very, very much of The Undertaker.
Yeah, he used to lean right in, didn't he?
100. $46. $177.
Super turn there. Really piling on the pain for Darius.
140.
You know, when you're putting in darts like this and you've got the
100.
advantage of throw, there's not a lot you can do when you're stood behind other than hope there's a bit of double trouble, which Crabtree has shown no indication of, and maybe the fact that he picked up that win on week 12,
100.
the last player
Cam
in,
Uruguay,
had a few days off
124.
just to absorb that victory has just got him here at the right time.
Yeah, you can keep it relatively simple here. I don't mind that play. I probably would have. I don't know. I like the ball on that, because the 25 or the ball, of course, leaves a double, but the 25 would
133.
give you a situation where you just need a big single to get to a double. But I understand it, and it's a sign of confidence, thinking, well, I don't think I'll miss the treble.
Darius, you require 82.
There's an option here to start on the ball. Most players opt in for that now because the 17 would leave tops to get a leg on the board and a breaker throw.
42. Cam, you require 32.
Had 2 pokes at a double. Not hit one.
Game shot on the third leg. Cam
3-0 down. Adam asks, is there more pressure on players that have just come off the tour to produce their best stuff? No, I don't think so. I think they're in the same boat as everybody else here. The vast majority, 99%, have tried to either get a card or retain a card. They're
82.
They're pretty much...
I can say it's the total opposite. When I came off the tour and I first started playing in this environment, for me, I think I strutted around the back rooms like I was the big cheese, and I think I told them all that as well.
Yes, you did.
I had various conversations in those practice rooms that seemed to go my way at the time. It was more just to do with the scheduling, which is why, Zach, at the moment, that is not the intention. But absolutely, you do come off there, and you should come off there and go, right, I'm going to show why I was above all these people.
Yeah, and for most, it's a rebuilding process.
95.
Look at Josh Payne, the prime example of someone who came off, and his intention was always to go back to the Pro Tour, and used every moment he had here to rebuild back towards
60.
that tour, and that's what he got the year later.
Yeah, someone did ask that question, whether you would return. Are you quite happy with what you're doing now?
60.
I could answer that, because we've had this conversation many times, and you're very content with what you're doing at the moment.
I would say, from a personal standpoint, never been happier at the moment within the sport. Really enjoying it. Play when I want to, and because I want to, rather than because I have to.
And when you want to.
Yeah. This is good, because this is when Darius Labanauskas had to do it, and he is doing it.
Cam, you require 144.
Ted wants to know how big are Jimmy's feet.
38.
Well, they're a size 12
Darius,
if you're planning on
64.
buying him a pair of shoes, and it's 19 London Road, Portsmouth.
$32.
Not, of course, unless
Cam,
you've
you
got a bit
require
of a foot fetish.
106.
But for
£58.
£50, I'll
Darius,
get
you
him
require
a sock
32.
for you if you like.
Well, there's a conversation I didn't expect to have today. But here's one I thought I'd have. Darius Labanauskas staring down double
Game shot on
16
the fourth
and
flag.
puts that
Darius
right in the middle.
Labanauskas.
Good leg there from Labanauskas, where we've spoke about leg difference could be a factor in this group. You do not
Fifth
want to
flag,
be
it's
losing
counter
heavy
throw
early
first.
on.
Game on. $96. $60. $134.
Someone saying here, what happened to the great game that Darius had? Tell me you don't play darts without telling me you don't play darts.
100.
I mean, statistically wise, it's not too different. He averaged 90. in the opening game, and he's averaging just a shy under 88, so he's only 2 points away. It's more to do with the brilliance here of Cam Crabtree, who's been very, very solid around the 93 for the majority of the game.
Yeah, I'm very efficient at the end of legs. 50% on the outs.
97.
10 scores of a ton or more.
100.
I think there's just enough time here to tell Mark Neville woo woo. He'll know what I'm on about.
100. Can you require 140?
This. An opportunity for Crabtree again to get the job done. A straight ton here would be more than happy with.
100.
He leaves himself on top.
Darius
Asking Labanauskas.
144.
Can he hit the big finish? 2 trebles and a double. He can't. Crabtree, the preparation begins now.
Yeah, he is just now prepping himself. Making
60.
sure it's
Can you
40
require
left.
40?
Sight the target. In
Game
it goes.
shot and the match. Cam Crabtree.
4-1 in Cam Crabtree's opening game in his Group B Champions Week here at the Super Series, and it was a very tidy start from him. Darius made a tidy start in his opening match, averaging 96. Couldn't replicate that here, but 92.14 for Cam Crabtree. 4 out of 7 on the doubles. Very impressive, 57.14%, and no 180s surprisingly in that match. When we come back after a short break, Conor Henahan back in action against Jimmy Van Schie.
So the Champions Week action continues here at the Super Series, and Conor Henahan looking to bounce back from defeat in his opening Group B game, but Jimmy Van Schie made a fantastic start with victory in his first match tonight, getting the better of Bradley Brooks, and the Dutchman just has a spring in his step, doesn't he, as he walks around the stage, a stage that he really made his own on that fantastic winning week. He's up against one of the most experienced players in this arena, a man who has struck perfection on that stage twice. And talking you through the action, it's back to Mace and Matt.
Thank you very much, Chris. And Connor will be keen to get points on the board. Defeated in his opening game 4-1. Jimmy Van Schie getting the better of Bradley Brooks 4-2. In defeat, Henahan averaged very nearly 95. In victory, Jimmy averaged pretty
60.
much 88. This could well be a nip and tuck contest, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
100.
But I just keep going back to that title that Jimmy Van Schie picked up this past weekend over in Austria, because you know yourself, Mace, when you win a title,
60.
you just think differently. There's even just driving your car, or you just have a couple of days where you just feel invincible. And
85.
he'll probably still be in that mode right now where he'll probably feel he can't do much wrong.
Yeah, there's the most incredible feeling of
87.
euphoria. I can remember I kept going close and couldn't get over the line, and then eventually won my first ranking title. And like you say, you
60.
even practice different. You even approach the sport totally different.
$45. 57.
Another one of the players that stand pretty much as far to the right as you can possibly get.
60. Connor, you require
A
144.
la Stephen Bunting.
It's one of those positions that can sometimes
60.
sort of close in around the chest a little bit and just feel a little bit claustrophobic at times. But for Jimmy, it seems just open the shoulders really strangely.
Yeah, I started to tuck my elbow in too far, and 'cause I was one of those that stood well right, and
Connor, you require 84.
over time just tried to get myself a little more central.
60.
How was that? Not gone
Jimmy,
in.
you require 63.
Well, he's had 7 visits to the board to hold on to his throw here, and that feels like too many.
Yeah, it's a smelly one. 666, I do believe.
$57.
Just breathe again,
Connor, you
Connor
require
Henahan.
24.
An opportunity to hold on to his throw by the smallest of
Shot on the
margins,
first
but
leg, Connor
doesn't matter how
Henahan.
big the margin is. It'll all be forgotten when we're totaling up the points at the end of the campaign.
Second leg, it's Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
So it doesn't matter how you get to the final. It's about getting to the final.
And I do think that's where a lot
57.
of developing players and young players really do come unstuck, because they focus so heavily on the performance that sometimes they're not even happy with winning.
No,
95.
they focus more on the numbers rather than the W.
I can tell you a lot of that does come down to sort of environmental, because I know with a couple of titles I picked up last year, first question was, what did you average?
134.
Not what did you win, what did you get for that, does that, what points did you get? None of that. It's just, what was your average?
You can't spend averages, and they
85.
don't write them on the trophy. They just write your name and the year. Question for you here, Matt, from Mark. Would you say Luke Littler is the final boss?
You don't get that reference, do you? It's a wrestling term regarding The Rock.
59. Connor, you require
If you
92.
Do you smell what he's cooking? You'd have probably got that one, but
Yeah.
it's a bit too recent, that one. But that is a good marker there for Henahan, unable to under it on
52.
occasion.
Jimmy, you
Yes,
require
Jimmy Van Schie, if you
120.
can get one of each.
56. Connor, you require 40. Game shot on a second leg, Connor Henahan.
A breaker throw for Connor Henahan.
Third leg, it's Connor to throw first. Game on.
I was going to say, he didn't want to make any form of eye contact there with Jimmy Van Schie as he was looking down, but I think if he wanted to make eye contact with Jimmy Van Schie, he may have needed some form of ladder.
Or a really big box.
60.
Or just ask Jimmy Van Schie to stand off the stage while he stays on it.
$99.
Tallest nation in the world, of course. The Dutch.
I just love how far that camera's got to zoom out to get him in.
If you want to work out how tall he is, look where Connor's head is in relation to the Super Series logo.
93.
And now look at this. Be all right at basketball,
48.
wouldn't he?
You wouldn't need to jump. Be like, is it Space Jam where he just gets the big arm and dunks it in?
108.
That's another for Henahan.
95. Connor, you require 84.
That's been a key feature of the week, the big maximum hitting. It hasn't really lit up tonight until this game. Both players raising the bar.
68.
And that is why Connor Henahan has that little bit of advantage in this leg, that he can make that miss and knows he'll be coming back.
44. Connor, you require
He did lose
16.
quite heavy in his opening game, Connor Henahan, 4-1 to Darius Labanauskas. And he could be about to get that leg difference back straight away. He can't get any closer without going in.
Game shot on the third leg.
Eventually
Connor
got there.
Henahan.
Gonna put all them on the head of a builder's nail.
Fourth leg, it's Jimmy to throw first.
Incredibly, we've had 3
Game on.
180s in the match. And that, not had a 140.
Adam Gillen says one day he hopes to play on that
100.
stage, and I can guarantee you from the conversation I had last time I was here with Jimmy Van Schie, he was in the same situation. He was sat at home really wanting his opportunity on that stage, and he got himself to the
100.
ADC European qualifiers and won plenty of them. Got himself lots of tickets here to the Super Series, so he's someone you're going to see
134.
on a regular basis moving forward, earning his way here, and I'm sure once those tickets have run out, he's going to be on the invitation list.
Yeah, I've enjoyed
60.
watching the evolution as we get to do here. Andy
140.
Davidson, he's another one, isn't he? What a find that is.
Oh, phenomenal afternoon's worth of action for him, and we'll see if he can get himself through to
108.
finals tomorrow.
Jimmy, you require 127.
Third maximum of the game there for Connor Henahan, the fourth in total.
95. Connor, you require 161.
I like it. I do like it.
93.
Didn't even
Jimmy, you
bother with a
require
ball.
32.
Said if you're good enough.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Jimmy Van Schie.
Very rarely does come back to bite you, but it does hurt when it does.
Yeah.
Fifth
I'm
leg.
with
It's
you on
Connor
that
to
one.
throw first. Game on.
It's a bit more of a risky strategy in a race to 4, isn't it? But
60.
like you say, how often is it going to happen?
$101.
David asks who I'm most looking forward to commentating on. I
85.
presume here at the Super Series. Well, I'd love to be in the box when Richie Burnett makes his return.
134.
Beautiful there, just working across the top wire, making a
140.
boundary for himself.
Just got to be a little bit careful.
58.
Conor Henahan would love a fourth 180. He'd like a two-treble visit of some
58.
sort here, but a troubleless visit coming up dry.
60.
Surrounded
Ronnie
it.
require
Pretty well thrown
158.
darts, but no reward there for Jimmy Van Skeet. And another one of those would have gave him a match dart.
98. Jimmy require 148.
May have to go with Henahan waiting on 60. It's not going to go. So it's in your hands, Conor. It will be a full reversal, Matt, of his opening scoreline
53.
defeat.
Conor, you require 60.
Just comes across to the left-hand side to open up the bed.
Game
And
shot.
puts the
and
game to
match.
bed.
Conor Henahan.
Jimmy Van Skeet just dropped the levels very slightly and was punished there by Conor Henahan, who gets his first points on the board here in this Group B campaign. And it seems to be following the same pattern that we've had all week. In Group A, all the players was beating each other. In Group C, they was doing the same. And right now, Cam Crabtree, the only player still yet to taste defeat, he's coming up next against Bradley Brooks.
Welcome back to the Super Series stage, a stage, of course, where Luke Littler won 2 titles and his story began. Someone is looking to join him on the Roll of Honour on this Champions Week. We've had Conan Whitehead and Raymond Smith before him Jim McEwen and Scott Taylor after him, and we will get a new name on the trophy come the end of this series. Could it be one of these two players, Bradley Brooks and Cam Crabtree? Two youngsters, although senior players by the comparison to the 17-year-old Littler, of course, won the Premier League tonight. But both of them very, very capable of getting their hands on the silverware come Saturday night. And here on Saturday night, as they have been all week, will be our top commentary duo of Matthew Edgar and Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Chris. Incredible to think, Matt, that we're going to be crowning a 6th champion of champions. Where does the time go? It feels like yesterday Conan Whitehead was lifting the very first one. Quite fitting if one of these young men would join that roll of honour after Luke Littler's incredible success at the Premier League finals this evening. Two players who you would have thought would know each other fairly well. But unlike Group C, where if you are at the foot of the table, you can quickly hit the panic button. No such concerns really at this early stage. I always suggest that, listen, if you win 2 on the opening night, 2 on night 2, you'll be in with a big shout on 8 points.
Especially this week as well, when you're looking at the field being so level and evenly matched.
Well, as it stands, the only unbeaten player in the
94.
first 4 cycle of games is Cam Crabtree. Everybody else has won a game, with the exclusion of this man Bradley Brooks, who we thought would go very well this evening.
Well, if Bradley does go on to win this game, we're going to have every player on 2 points and only separated by leg difference, which I think is going to be a qualifying factor.
Well, it certainly is currently in Group C, with 5 players on 6 points and 1 player who failed to pick up a win today.
$140. $100.
Already a brighter performance here from Bradley Brooks, and already feeling a little bit more positive up there.
40. Bradley, you require 40. Game shot on the first leg, Bradley Brooks. Second leg, it's Cam to throw first. Game on.
Very assured opening leg from Bradley Brooks, a 14 darter.
60.
Can he start now to move through the gears?
95.
Well, Cam Crabtree's done this on a few occasions now, standing at the back of the stage and having a full phantom throw. I don't think he's going to be too far off if he can ask for a secondary board up the stage. We can have a practice throw in between. Which, I tell you what, I did some research on rules that
96.
don't exist that you think would. I don't know if there's any rules against having a practice board behind your opponent.
No, I remember the video did, and
108.
there was lots in there where I was like, there's surely got to be a rule for that.
The one that always surprises me the most is you stand where you want. As long as you're at the exclusion zone, you don't have to go stand behind the
45.
opponent. You could literally
Can
stand
you
next to Jack
require
Darwood.
161.
And
137.
I've played in some sort of random open competitions where your opponent thinks it's okay just to literally stood on my side, and I'm like, as I'm throwing, I'm like,
Can you
what are
require
you doing? It's just
24.
not darting etiquette.
That's it, isn't it?
Game
There's
shot
no
on a
rule
second
against
leg.
it, but
Cam
it's
Crabtree.
not seen to be the thing to do. Because essentially what you could do,
Third
there's no
leg.
rule
It's
against
Bradley to
this,
throw
it's
first.
just,
Game on.
it'd be very frowned upon, is you could take your darts out, go stand next to Jack Garwood, our referee, and actually just stand looking at your opponent while they're throwing the darts.
Yep.
97.
How would you, like, that would be so unsettling, wouldn't
Couple
it?
of pubs that'd be dangerous in, I know. It's the same
140.
it's the same as the speed of the throw as well, like how long it takes you to throw. Because in Asia, it's very popular for these ghost throws, isn't it? And
60.
Oh, there's a specials week. You only get 15 seconds.
shot clock darts.
Yeah. Like, have a timer, and the second you leave the exclusion zone,
96.
hit it, you got 15 seconds to throw. I don't know what I'd do with the other 11 seconds.
You'd be fine.
97.
You'd be like looking at your hand going, come on, get a move on.
Speed darts, yeah, that'd be interesting. They've done it in other spots of the cricket, haven't they? Was it 2020 cricket?
Yeah, they do it in the snooker shootout. There's a shot clock in that.
133. $57. Cam, you require
132 and no real pressure for Cam. No finish for Brooks.
$92. $125.
Come on, man.
Cam, you require 40.
Well, let this double go in, and
Game shot on a
we've
third
just
leg.
had a
Cam
wonderful
Crabtree.
suggestion.
Fourth leg. It's Cam to throw first. Game on.
Trampoline darts, right? All right, hear me out. Hear me out. So you know those little trampolines
60.
you get in the gyms, right? You have one of them right on the hockey, and you can only throw the dart when you're in the air. Thrilling TV.
24.
It certainly changed the technique.
100. $140.
Not sure it'll take off.
It's tickled me, that, and I like what you did there as well with take off. Yeah.
120. $100.
Whether it's a, yeah, it just looks like a new flight.
He's getting ready for speed darts, you see. He's a bit of F1 running repairs there for Crabtree. Again, showing that little bit of
60.
experience that he's developing now, not just rushing into things if things aren't right, just taking that time, which does come with experience, because when you're up there and it's new, you tend to
100.
sort of just feel like you've got to go through the
require
motions quite quickly. You
161.
won't take the moments that you need.
Yeah, you can fall into that trap of rushing a little bit. Ball. Oh, the line was
136.
perfect.
Bradley require 137. $97. Cam, you require 25.
Double 8.
Game shot on a fourth
Nice
leg.
solid
Cam
finish there for
Crabtree.
Cam Crabtree. Puts himself a leg away. Puts himself a leg away.
This
from
performance is going under the radar, Matt.
Fifth leg. It's Bradley to throw first.
98.89 at
Game
the
on.
moment. Cam Crabtree, 90.64 for Brooks.
He's bouncing.
81.
A shake of the head there from Bradley Brooks after the 81.
96.
Obviously feels like he needs a lot more at the moment. He's aware of the performance of Crabtree.
97.
So if I just said Jimmy Van Schie doing trampoline darts, we'd have to raise the ceiling height, wouldn't we?
Don't make me picture things like I was laughing for long enough without picturing individuals doing it. Look, I have a very sort of picturesque imagination where I actually see these things happening in my head. And it starts me giggling.
45.
But David, I do see Cam Crabtree being one of the players of the future of darts, and when we look at what he's done in regards to the Challenge Tour and the invitations he's had up to the Pro Tour, where he's reached a quarter-final.
Yeah, of a Pro Tour as
79.
as a Dev and Challenge Tour player.
That is a serious achievement, and I do just think it's a matter of time.
101.
Do you know what? I'd probably be surprised if he's not a player with a tour card in 2025, whatever system that comes from. But this is tops for Bradley Brooks.
68.
He's still not quite got his radar.
$58.
You always look at
Bradley
players
require
that
40.
make improvements year on year. And obviously, both will
35.
mostly make improvements on their B game.
require
We
107.
all know where their A game sits.
$55. Bradley require 5.
Double two. One more dart.
1.
You feel that might be the last one he
Can you
throws,
require
and
52.
that reaction suggests he thinks the same.
Game shot, undermatch.
And pins it. The average drops after a slightly indifferent fifth leg of the match, but doesn't drop too badly. It down to 92.56, but 11 scores of a ton or more, 140, 180 in there. But what was very impressive was the finishing. 4 from 5 for 80%, and Bradley Brooks stuck at the foot of the table. When we come back, it will be Labanauskas against Jimmy Van Schie.
So halfway through this evening's action, Group B underway, and well, for everybody apart from Bradley Brooks, so far they'll feel okay, I guess, about the evening.
Yeah, Bradley Brooks has just sort of gone back to that type that we saw on Monday, where he seemed very disappointed with everything and didn't quite settle into the task. And we saw a little bit of that from Jimmy Van Schie as well, who is somebody who sort of came here and we thought would be full of confidence on the back of picking up that WF title recently, but not quite shown that sort of confidence levels in those first couple of games, but well and truly in the mix. No one's ever really out of it in a Group B, and that's probably the exciting thing here, and probably something that Bradley Brooks can just keep in the back pocket.
Well, if you are just joining us, here is what's happened so far tonight. The first 5 matches completed, and the only player to be unbeaten, Cam Crabtree, winning 2 games and winning them both convincingly as well.
And he's looked very good. He is very good. Both averages of 92. The last one just dropped in the last leg, but he's looked very good, very functionality in regards to the finishing. He's not giving his opponents too many chances. And right now, he's looking like the player to beat. And when he did win that last week to get into here, it kind of came at the perfect time. We always say when you qualify can be a factor. We look at some of the players that qualify in week 1 and week 2. They've got a long wait. Crabtree's just had a couple of days. So he's had time to sort of go home, absorb the victory, enjoy the victory, but also know that he can keep himself ticking over and keep that form that he's found coming into this week. And he's hit the ground running.
The man who we just saw him beat there, Darius Labanauskas, what have you made of him so far tonight?
I don't think we've learned anything about Darius Labanauskas. We know Darius Labanauskas and we know him very well, and what he does is what he's doing. He'll always be around that sort of 90 average. He'll never differ the pace. He'll always be a tricky customer to beat. And he's one of those people that, I fully expect him to get through this group by one of the 3 positions that are available. Fully expect to see him on Saturday night. He'll expect to be on Saturday night, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the people watching at home will as well. And he's just been Darius. That's what he's done so far, and it's normally good enough.
Yeah, we knew plenty about Darius, obviously a very experienced player, but one of the players who there maybe were a few question marks about how he would cope on this Champions Week with all the elite Super Series players. Jimmy Van Schie, a win and a loss. Summary of his performances?
Honestly, I thought we'd get a little bit more from Jimmy Van Schie, just purely on the fact that he won that title, and he did that title well, averaging nearly 95 in the final against Benjamin Pratnamar, and that I thought would be something that we're going to see him now sort of for a couple of weeks consistently play at that level. But on the same aspect, he's never really played for a prize fund like he's up against here, and this is the biggest sort of field he's played in so far. Yes, he's got things on the horizon. He's not far away from a Lakeside qualifying place, and he's now got the World Masters as well. He knows he's got more tickets here for the Super Series, but this is the biggest stage he's played on, and I think it's just showing a little bit tonight.
Well, let's have a look how the table looks after the first half of matches this evening. Crabtree with 4 points. Henahan, Labanauskas and Van Schie all on to Bradley Brooks. Really a miserable start to his campaign. What has been interesting, Matt, is even though it's close between the players, everyone beating each other, the matches have actually been pretty one-sided in isolation.
Yeah, and we said leg difference could be quite a factor, and the players that lost heavy then just go back and win heavy, and that just sort of cancel each other out. But that's this week. That's Champions Week. That's what you get when we put all these winners together. We get these sort of close-knit scenarios. At the moment, Crabtree's kept himself out the way of all of that, and when you do that and you get those wins, you don't need to worry about the table. Let everyone else worry about the table. You know where you are. You're top. You keep winning. And when you start thinking about the table, it brings in that scoreboard pressure as well and extra factors. And Crabtree has stolen the early march.
That will be interesting to see how the rest of the night unfolds. I'll let you get back to it with Chris Mason. But here at the Super Series, well, we've celebrated someone special doing something special. Take a look at this.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows we're watching something special.
This is going to happen, just when? When is it going to happen? Didn't take long.
If we can't enjoy and get carried away by what he's achieving right now, what is the point?
I actually thought at one point, this is going to be a world record. This is going to smash any record. You don't get many finals with averages like that in. Probably the best performance in a final I've ever refereed.
We did lower the age limit for Luke Littler.
I'm fascinated with the whole Luke Littler situation. The Littler effect is taking effect. So that there's no doubt.
I guess Luke, bless him, was a test case for us.
What was the story
when Luke Littler lost in the World Final. The story was Luke Littler losing the World Final. It wasn't Luke Humphries wins the World Championship. That's going to get people's back up.
Let the boy play darts.
Be careful what you wish for.
How many youngsters have come through that you've all said this is going to be the next big thing? Where are they?
It's mentally tough in what he's going through right now, so I did understand where Gary Anderson was coming from.
The media are needed.
Honestly, you haven't got a clue.
If we can't just be excited and embrace that, yeah, I'm out.
Give yourselves a pat in the back.
It's up to the media themselves to be responsible.
Well, this is going to be the next big thing. That's it. Pressure's on him. All goes Pete Tong. Where is he now?
Where is he now, eh? Well, lifting the Premier League trophy. That's where he is right now, Luke Littler. And the story so far is available on our YouTube channel. So make sure you are subscribing. And when the action's finished tonight, or maybe tomorrow morning when you're having darts withdrawal symptoms, and you can tune into that. A really well put together piece of content, and some big names in the world of darts having their say, detailing the meteoric rise of the phenomenon that is Luke Littler. He's risen to the heights of Jimmy Van Schie, the towering Dutchman, back in action here, taking on Darius Labanauskas. Both of them win a piece to their name, and whoever gets the victory in this one will join Cam Crabtree on 4 points. Back to our commentary team of Matthew Edgar and Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, it is a wonderfully put together piece with some great insight from some key players from the world of darts, on and off the hockey, of course. Even more reason to hit that subscribe button. You won't miss all that type of content that's added regularly from our wonderful social media and production team.
We do like to try and bring you as much bonus content and alternate content, not just the live broadcast and the action here 43. Where you get to see the stars of yesteryear and the stars of tomorrow. You also get lots of interesting content, some things that you even asked for, like 58. An upside down dartboard. That video coming out in the very near future. Something I know you absolutely loved, Mace.
Yeah, incredible, wasn't it? Fabulous. 100. Fabulous content, that. Sure we'll be on the shortlist for a BAFTA for that one.
$96. $100. $138.
So Jimmy Van Schie first out to a finish. Darius will be expecting something better. Well, he would have before a couple of fives.
30.
And now,
Jimmy require 164.
That's going to pique the interest of Jimmy, who's going to sense an opportunity here to get an early breaker throw.
54. Darius, you require 147. $82. Jimmy, you require 110.
Wonder which way he'll go. Oh, old school.
Game shot on the first leg.
Sometimes the old ways are the best ways.
Well, this has been a week where we've had
second leg.
Some incredible finishes. The Group A campaign breaking the record for the most tumpless checkouts, but that is the first one of Group B.
Yeah, and this was a group that I thought would not necessarily overshadow what was a remarkable Group A and Group C this afternoon, but I thought it would be somewhat on par, but so far it's felt very, very edgy indeed.
31. 54.
The only person that seems to have settled was a player who came in on the back of an indifferent qualifying campaign.
100.
He personally wasn't happy with his level of performance, but he's the one that seemed the most assured.
99.
Crabtree, of course, 2 from 2.
$140.
He's got that ideal schedule, hasn't he? The Group B schedule that you dream of being third game on, miss one and play one, then two, then play, then one, then play. It's a perfect scheduling for a player.
Yeah. And the fact that he did play the final week, so he was given a few days to just the way it worked out in terms of his qualifying average, of course, but it probably couldn't have worked out any more perfect. Played last week.
70.
Got the chance to have a few days rest, watch everyone else go through the ringer, and then come in nice and fresh and well rested.
Well, he's missed the board there. He had a massive target of 16 and 8, and now he's made a problem for himself because the way that's skewed across,
36.
it would have been so easy just to catch
Darius
the flight
require
and
160.
miss the board again.
Wow, this would hurt. Couldn't follow.
140. Jimmy require 32.
For 2-0. And he's asked the question just in case.
Game shot on the second leg. Jimmy Van Schie.
No problems though for Jimmy Van Schie. Starting to pick the performance
Third
up a little
leg,
bit
it's
here
Darius
to
to throw
where
first.
we expected him to be
Game on.
today. And he could be joining Cam Crabtree on 4 points.
43.
I expected Darius to go well in this one.
58. $100.
Well, we talked about the title that Jimmy Van Schie picked up, but Darius Labanauskas also picked up a title over the weekend as well. He was playing in his home country of Lithuania for the Lithuanian Open and did manage to pick up one of the 2 titles, the bronze WF ranked titles.
140.
Guarantees him a place in the World Masters that will be coming back in October.
83.
Guess whose group he's going to be in?
Yeah, yours.
$94.
Not unless you get the old BDO to do the draw and you could ask for another draw.
Remember when instead of bulling up they used to draw balls out of a bag?
Yeah, I was
50.
always baffled.
Darius
I was
require
like,
124.
me winning or losing in this could be down to whether I pull a red ball out or a green ball out of a bag.
The ball.
Game shot on the
Oh,
third
beautiful
leg.
finish there from Darius
Labanauskas.
Labanauskas to get himself on the board and up and running in this game.
Yeah, lovely.
Fourth leg.
Lovely
it's
finish
Jimmy
on the
to throw
1-2-4.
first.
15
Game on.
darter. Surely suggest your question. Well, it's not a question. It's a suggestion now about a Grand Prix that players have to
134.
nominate their dub. I think we've already had the Double Trouble week. Neil Duff, the winner of that, of course. I don't think nominating a double is essential. I think it's hard enough as it is.
140.
You'd have played in the old BDO days. Was the rumour that one ball was slightly bigger than the other one? Was that?
Yeah, that's all it was. A bit of a myth. It was a bit like the old myth of TV boards were bigger than the boards that you could buy from the shops. I don't know
100.
where on earth that come from. I had some fun with it over the years, of course. But
60. $100.
Good leg again here from Labanauskas. Really brought him to life, that 1-2-4 finish. And sometimes that's all it takes, isn't it? A little bit of a spark.
46. Darius, you
Asked
require
how tall is
161.
Jimmy, I'd say about 6'6", maybe 6'7". He's a big one.
He's been eating his green bean sprouts, hasn't he?
Yeah, by the kilo, I should imagine.
Oh, and a beautiful setup there. Again, asking Labanauskas the question. That one little slip, one little blink there from Labanauskas has been punished, and now the 1-2-3 will need to go. It's the same combination, treble 18 for the bull. He's just had this combination for the 1-2-4.
98. Jimmy, you require 40. $20.
Wow.
Darius, you require 25.
So 9 for double 8.
Game shot on a fourth
That's why
flag.
he's been so
Darius
good at those, isn't
Labanauskas.
it? Darius Labanauskas, when he gets the opportunity, it goes.
Yeah, he's
Fifth
got it
flag.
back
It's
to
Darius
a level game.
first. Game on.
When is Double Trouble week again? Oh, I don't know. We've got lots of specials we want to do before we go down that road
85.
again.
I couldn't help but laugh there when you saw the side by side. He's literally head and shoulders and chest
100.
above Darius Labanauskas. Darius Labanauskas not exactly short, is he? He's like the pretty standard size, so that gives you the idea of the measurement.
Yeah, I should imagine he's 5'9".
83.
And he's leant over.
Does look really bizarre.
85.
We had one similar with that when Dom Taylor was playing, didn't we? I can't remember who he was playing against, but it was
171.
There was one, I can't remember who it was, but there was a
134.
Makuro Suzuki played somebody. I think it was Core Decker.
yeah, and he's another big fella, isn't he?
Oh, this is timing from Labanauskas.
130.
From absolutely nowhere, has found another gear.
It's just the experience and
44.
quality that he's got.
Darius, you require 32.
And that was the key word, experience.
Game shot on a fifth flag. Darius
That
Labanauskas.
might be what this all comes down to this week. A little bit of experience, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit
Sixth
of
flag.
know-how.
It's Jimmy to throw
Been there
first.
before and
Game on.
being able to draw on that experience of previous encounters.
46. $45. $100. 78. 100.
So it's Darius about to close in on
98.
win number 2 and join Cam Crabtree on 4 points.
140.
But it may need to go all the way here because Jimmy Van Schie has stolen a big march and he does have the advantage
60.
of throw.
Jimmy require
6 starts
115.
guaranteed. But Jimmy Van Schie to take us the distance. Ironically, for the very first time this evening.
59.
It's been a week of 4-3s across the Group A and Group C earlier on today. But Jimmy's just realised he's drank all his water. Needs a refill.
140.
Don't ask
Jimmy
Rob
require
Cross.
56. Game shot on at 6 flag.
Big
Jimmy
last
Van
dart to
Schie.
level things up. It is Darius with the darts.
7th and final leg. It's Darius to throw
I'm
first.
just keeping my
Game
eye
on.
on this because I'm not saying I was one that liked a tactic or two, but I'd have been tempted to drink Darius's water at that point.
100.
You're a bad man on the quiet, Edgar.
You'd have done the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I just took a sneaky sip out of it. Gone, oh, sorry.
I'd have just downed it.
I would have if it was vodka.
Get a feeling there might be a camera on that table when I do go down there and play again.
86.
Big brother will be watching you. Oh, look at this.
125.
So nothing really in it. The deciding factor at the moment might just come down to that little arrow that's next to Darius's name that means he's thrown first.
59.
Crowded it, but didn't hit it.
59.
Those players are really just one big score away from taking a grip.
Yeah, it is. It's just that 1-2 treble visit. Is it coming in right now for Darius? There we go.
140.
Down to 116. The pressure now firmly on the shoulders of this big man.
$140.
Brilliant reply.
Darius require 116.
Both players same equation. One treble required a treble, a single for double. Oh, and Jimmy Van Schie is guaranteed a chance with that wayward dart of Darius Labanauskas, and you can see him just peering around the corner. Surprised you can't see over the top of him.
Yeah. Doesn't need to
84.
meerkat.
Jimmy require 120.
Straight on the 20 line. One of each. The hard part. The easy part.
80.
Misses the winning part.
Darius, you
And these are
require
chances
32.
that Labanauskas rarely passes up.
Yeah, not the kind of player you want to be giving this kind of chance to. Can he use that? Wow. Yeah, he can't believe it. He left the release out there thinking it was in.
Game
Well,
shot.
that one
And the
surely
match,
is.
Darius
And it is,
Labanauskas.
and Labanauskas takes the spoils in a back and forth affair between Labanauskas and Van Schie. An average of 89.52 in the end for Labanauskas, 85.61 for Van Schie. And not a single 180 in that clash. When we come back, Conor Henahan takes on Bradley Brooks.
thinking, hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's 100 quid down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
For the ball. Ball.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Schie. Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
Get match darts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out, that's what he is, Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
The Modus Super Series having a big influence in the world of darts, but this man, Bradley Brooks, needs to really up his game if he's going to have any say in this group and indeed this Champions Week. Second in Group A, but it's a poor start to his Group B campaign, and Bam Bam really does need to try and find some points tonight, or he could find himself in real trouble. Conor Henahan does have a win to his name, looking to double that tally here. The Irishman in action also in Group A with Bradley Brooks, but a big, big match for Brooks in particular. And talking you through it, Chris Mason is alongside Matthew Edgar.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, this is huge for Bradley. He would start to begin to fear the worst if he doesn't
First
pick up
leg, it's Conor to throw
a
first.
win here, because
Game on.
his final game is against Darius Labanauskas, who looks very comfortable this evening.
I don't think I've ever known a time where Darius hasn't just looked comfortable and just taking it all in his stride. Showing all of his experience. But already better from Bradley Brooks here. And he does know in a Group B campaign you can have a slow start and recover the situation. Especially when there's not really a runaway leader at the moment within the group.
$57.
We know from experience with Conor Henahan that he is a player that can really play in high-level spells.
$60. Conor, you require 161. $86.
Win here for Conor, and he will join Cam and Darius on 4 points.
100.
Still to come at the
Connie
conclusion of this one. It is
75.
Jimmy Van Schie against Cam Crabtree. Bradley Brooks, Labanauskas. Cam Crabtree against Conor Henahan.
35. Bradley require 104.
Options of where to start, and when he loves tops the way he does, no surprise to see him starting on the 16s. Oh, that was in.
Well, he wasn't particularly happy with the board, and
32.
well within his rights
Connie
to
require 40.
ask for it to be changed, which I do believe it was.
Yep, it's a different board.
Game shot on the first leg. Conor Henahan.
It's just going to add to the frustration that Bradley Brooks is feeling here. Playing
Second
Conor
leg,
Henahan
it's
for the
Bradley to
fourth
throw
time this
first.
week. There are two players
Game on.
that joined us for Group A campaign, and on Monday it went the way of Conor Henahan, who picked up a
44.
4-3 success. On Tuesday, Bradley Brooks reversed the fixture. 4-3 success for Bradley. Before yesterday,
100.
taking the lead on the head-to-head with a more comprehensive victory, a 4-1 scoreline favour for Bradley Brooks.
108.
That's more like it.
2. $134.
He has had some trouble with the board tonight, hasn't he, Bradley? Or both boards, should we say. But it only seems to be happening with Bradley at the moment,
97.
which would suggest that the issue might be within his setup.
Yeah, well, he uses very long points. They don't really enter the board with any kind of aggression, and
45.
they do sit up, and it is, of course, the one-piece system we've been discussing all week that you can have issues with. He doesn't want to, well, he doesn't want to risk it. I understand fully. And that's a blocker.
We'll probably feel that that was very loose in the board.
80. $105. Bradley require 100.
Well, the way Tops has been going for him in his early campaign, you'd imagine he's going to try and hit two of them here, and does.
Game shot on the second leg. Bradley Brooks.
Brilliant finish there from Bradley Brooks.
Third leg. It's Conor to throw first.
Seen a couple
Game
of
on.
tops, haven't we? This week.
Well, no surprise to see Bradley
Today.
Brooks adds on to that one.
85. $97. $95. $60.
Conor Henahan there was
43.
at the back of the stage, just trying to see what was going on with Bradley while he was mid-throw. That's something we don't tend to see from Henahan. So he's clearly very aware of every individual dart at the moment, and living and
81.
breathing the game.
Yeah, for sure.
I suppose that just is the magnitude of the
58.
situation right now, isn't it? And he's just ultimately trying to control it the best he can.
Well, I think the players are all aware that it's
58.
not living up to the expected standard, and they're probably all they probably feel a little bit extra edgy because of that.
They probably feel like it's a missed opportunity more than anything.
Yes.
won't it? And
108.
they know that the rest of the players will pick up the pace at some point, but Conor Henahan, first player onto 5 maximums.
100. Connor, you require 40. Game shot on the third leg. Connor Henahan.
Back in front. 2-1.
Fourth leg. It's Bradley to throw first. Game on.
Do still have 3 games to come following this one. Jimmy Van Schie taking on the unbeaten Cam Crabtree. Bradley Brooks will come back for one more time to take on Darius Labanauskas. And Crabtree will close up the evening.
95.
He takes on Connor Henahan.
$100. $100.
Bradley will be looking to hold on to this little bit of a lead.
60. $59. $60.
Just starting to boil over a little bit for Bradley, isn't it? Just a frustration level starting to show.
99.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bradley require 147.
Understandable. The players expected plenty.
99. Connor, you require 148. $84. Bradley, you require 48. Game shot on a fourth flag. Bradley Brooks.
Well, we have a level game. Decent enough standard. 91.15 Connor.
Connor to throw first.
88.4 Bradley Brooks. It's now a best of 3.
140.
Where Henahan has the throw in 2 of the 3.
180.
180, number 3 for Brooks.
$100.
Unfortunately, Saturday is already sold out for Champions Week. If you want to join us on any other Saturday, including next Saturday for Women's Week, be quick. Head over to www.dartshop.tv.
57. Bradley require 141.
Oh, and he had missed double 10 in double 18 in Group A for the 9.
I think the most important thing here for Bradley Brooks, though, is that potential
97.
breaker throw that has now come around, and he can leave his favourite tops here with just a single dart. Regardless of
168.
shot there of Connor
Bradley
Henahan, a
require
fantastic
44.
shot, but doesn't stop Bradley Brooks having the opportunity here.
34. Connor, you require 36.
Maybe it did just set the alert bells going there for Bradley Brooks.
Game shot on the fifth flag. Connor Henahan.
Had his opportunity there, Bradley Brooks. Back-to-back 180s.
Sixth flag. It's Bradley to throw first. Game on.
He's hit 4 in this match. He's averaging just shy of 94, so a much improved performance here for Bradley, but it just doesn't seem to be getting much go his way, and another dart onto the floor.
Well, we've seen it with Andreas Harrison in Group A, what could go wrong for him early doors. Did go wrong. He did recover. Almost recovered to get a place in this group. At the moment, Bradley Brooks
121.
Having a little battle with himself.
$53. $60.
We've seen a bit of this anomaly a little earlier. Bradley Brooks, 4 maxes.
45.
Not a 140 in sight. The epitome of all or nothing.
140.
Well, that didn't last long, did it, Mace? He's just filled that box for you.
Right on cue.
140. Bradley require 100.
Well, that seemed indecisive.
60.
Safe.
He's left his favourite. He's left himself on tops to level up the game and
96.
take us a distance.
Bradley require 40. Game shot on a 6th leg.
He
Bradley
will be
Brooks.
massively relieved to have seen that find the target.
7th and final leg.
The way
It's
things have been going for him.
Game on.
I wouldn't have been shocked to have seen Conor Henahan step in and take
95.
the 109 out to the match.
$81.
Both players exchanging 1 treble visits. But this from Henahan is a move.
125. $100.
Big last start there. Keeps himself in touching distance should the opportunity present itself. He didn't have to wait long.
$100. $60.
140 here for Bradley. Could really make things interesting.
$100. Connor, you require
Got the minimum requirement
161.
there, getting the 1 treble, giving himself a reasonable checkout.
$121.
Brilliant. Absolutely
Bradley require
brilliant.
120.
Very well created there. Oh, worst possible dart, really.
42. Connor, you require 40.
This for the match.
Game shot.
It
and
does
match.
go the way of Conor Henahan. An improved performance from Bradley Brooks, but it's the same result, and it is now 3 games for Bradley without being able to pick up a victory. For Conor Henahan, he makes it back-to-back victories and moves himself onto 4 points, tying up the position at the top. Coming up next, Jimmy Van Schie takes on Cam Crabtree.
Welcome back to the Group B action on Champions Week at Modus Super Series 7. And Cam Crabtree looking to continue his unbeaten start. He has 2 games left. Jimmy Van Schie looking to, well, make things very similar to Group C this afternoon. Remember, if you were watching, that group ended with 5 players all tied on the same amount of points. Well, if Van Schie can get the better of Cam Crabtree in this one, then we will have 4 players all on 4, and Bradley Brooks stranded at the foot of the field without a win to his name. Right, which way will this one go? Let's find out in the company of Matthew Edgar and Chris Mason.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, and if you weren't watching
First
this
leg,
afternoon,
it's Jimmy to throw first.
Oh, you missed
Game on.
absolute cracking session. It was fabulous. I'm maybe anticipating or expecting, Matt, one of these players to really make a bit of a statement.
97.
I think that player may be the man coming into shot right now, Crabtree. He is unbeaten so far tonight, won both of his games, and I think the impressive thing is the way in which he's been finishing tonight. He's only had 12 darts at double to win his 8 legs.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
59.
And he is a player that plays off his confidence.
59.
He may not be ultimately thrilled with every aspect of his game. In fact, he is 2 from 2. Should give him something to
100.
to build on.
$140.
Big friends with Owen Bates, of course, isn't he?
He is from a very popular darting area. He's Crabtree.
108.
Isn't Darryl Pilgrim from that area?
I believe so, and I believe other players that come here on a regular basis, such as Lee Cox,
99.
also very local
Jimmy
to him.
requires 65.
How about Conan? Is he not in a similar area?
Yes. Yep, same sort of area.
55. Cam, you require 144.
Canny Super League sides down there.
Oh, that's inviting, isn't it? You just expected another treble 20 there, but
120.
unable to find the double 12.
Jimmy require 10.
Jimmy Van Schie goes and takes a more conservative sip of water this time.
Game shot on the first leg. Jimmy Van Schie.
For Jimmy Van Schie, and they're the ones that hurt the most, aren't they, when you think you're getting an opportunity.
Second leg, it's Cam to throw first. Game on. $134. $57. $140. $55. $85.
He is the only player at the moment not to have been beaten, Cam Crabtree.
60. Cam, you require 142.
And he's looking at another one of those 2 treble combinations to double.
102.
Sets himself up after just 12 darts thrown. No treble found yet for Jimmy Van Schie.
97. Cam, you require 40. Game shot on the
Nice
second
14
leg.
darter there
Cam
for
Crabtree.
Cam Crabtree. It's not just tonight where He hasn't tasted defeat. He's actually on a good run of form at the moment,
Third
winning
leg,
10
it's Jimmy to throw
of
first.
his last 11
Game on.
fixtures here at the Super Series. And more notably, those results come in very recent times.
60. $108.
He continues to step it up and put it to Jimmy Van Schie.
$135.
There was that little bit of rivalry, wasn't there?
58.
Friendly rivalry between himself and Owen Bates, because Owen Bates won one first and then Crabtree wanted to win one, but now Crabtree's won 2.
54.
And Owen never won a Champions Week. So maybe some Super Series bragging rights available here for Crabtree.
It might be a while before Owen Bates gets the opportunity to win another one. Ultimate bragging rights if he goes on to win the week.
100. Can you require 167? $131. Jimmy, you require 152. $65. Cam, you require 36.
To break the throw of Jimmy Van Schie.
Game shot on the third leg, Cam Crabtree.
Great couple of legs there from Crabtree, going out in 14 and 13.
Fourth leg, it's Cam to throw first. Game on.
That's the sort of form that did carry him to that Pro Tour quarter-final. Visits of 5 or less.
60.
At the moment,
100.
Cam Crabtree averaging in excess of 102. 50% on his doubles. That's a real element of his game that's been outstanding this evening.
We have seen
96.
quite a few Tumpler Savages landed already this week. I count 11. 3 of which came in the afternoon session.
140.
Neil Duff's 103, Reece Robinson with a 106, and Andy Davidson with a 102. In fact, make it 12. He had the 105 as well.
109. Cam, you require 170. $145. $45. Cam, you require 25. Game shot on the fourth leg, Cam Crabtree.
Well, this is just solid, isn't it? 14, 13, 14 for Crabtree.
Fifth leg, it's Jimmy to throw first.
That breaks
Game
down
on.
to, more commonly known, 106.07.
60.
Yeah, with an 80, you're not going to compete with that, even in a short race. 10 scores of a ton or more. This has been the kind of performance we expected.
99. $57.
Yes, the question is, someone going to stand up and be counted and grab this group by the scruff of the neck? Crabtree could pretty much put a foot through the door tonight the way that the results have been going.
180. 140. $92.
Schie looking to
Jimmy requires
join
70.
in with that 5 visit or less hold of throw. Double 16.
38.
The
Can
way
you require
Crabtree has been
104?
playing, you wouldn't write off this opportunity.
Certainly expect him to get a go at it. Oh, that wasn't a bad dart from him. It's quite a flat lie, so just tried to dink it over the top. He's left double 8 just in
Jimmy
case.
require 32. Game shot on a fifth
I was
leg.
just about
Jimmy
to
Van Schie.
say he's just 1 from 6 on the doubles. Make that 2 from 7. But it is Cam
Sixth
with
leg.
the darts
It's Cam
here
to
to
throw
get
first.
the
Game
job
on.
done. The average is still special, 104.15.
$59.
There in the background you can see something you picked up on. He's
140.
really just trying to get maybe a bit of looseness or a bit of rhythm.
Well, it certainly worked, because that's the perfect dart right in the bottom of the bed, lying flat and building from bottom to top.
I'll try that tomorrow.
I think there'll be a lot of people right now when they're having a practice trying that now.
It is a very rhythmic one-action throw, isn't it?
All on feel, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not an aimer. You can almost see Jimmy sights the
Can you require
the target down through the flight and the barrel.
$59. Jimmy, you require 124.
This is a big exchange coming up here, because Crabtree did throw first, and you feel like this 105 may be a position where it has to go, or he's going to be up against it.
Yeah, he had the crack at the 104.
88.
And now it's
Can you
a
require
105. Will he go
105?
ball? Seems the fashionable way to go. No, 57 to leave 48. The 54 would have left 32, but finds nothing.
57. Jimmy, you require 36. Game shot on a sixth
Well,
leg.
there's less of a
Jimmy
gap
Van
in the
Schie.
numbers, but it's still significant, Matt. 88.47 Jimmy. Cam,
7th and final leg.
101.79.
It's Jimmy to throw first. Game on.
Numbers that matter the most are that leg column, the 3-3, and it was the 13 darter there of Van Schie that's given this chance.
59.
But he hasn't used the darts here in the opening exchange.
$59.
We're still dead level.
100. $98.
Sensible thinking there. Taking it down to 3-4-4 means it can be completed in 6
60.
or 12 darts in the leg in its entirety. Very much the thinking of the new Premier League champion.
140. $100.
Knows that's not enough.
108.
Knows he's just landed a big haymaker blow at the right time there. The third maximum, but the best timed one he's thrown, well, all series.
Yeah. That was one right on the chin.
63.
Shook him to
Can
his
you
boots.
require 24.
The winning legs for Crabtree have been 14, 13, 14
Game shot, and the match.
and 14.
Crabtree.
A clinical performance there for Crabtree, and he knows he's just won a big encounter there. In regards to the table, he's still unbeaten. He's on the top. He's on 6 points, and he has just popped in an average of 102.57. That is a statement performance from the man who hits the top. But coming up next, Bradley Brooks at the bottom of the table takes on Darius Labanauskas.
Welcome back. The penultimate game of the night could be enormous for Bradley Brooks. It could, in fact, be fatal for Brooks, who is placed precariously at the foot of the Group B table without a win to his name. His opponent, Darius Labanauskas, would take his tally to 6 points if he won this match. And Conor Henahan plays Crabtree in the last match of the night. Now, if Henahan were to win that, then that would guarantee Brooks to be 6 points off the pace from the top 3, of course, who go through to finals night. That is probably going to be a gap that is too big to bridge. So Bradley Brooks in must-win territory for this one. His feet planted firmly on the tungsten trapdoor, and he is going to need to pick up the points. Chris Mason and Matthew Edgar will talk you through this crucial contest.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, this is big. And it's big for both, but for differing reasons. It's the psychological effect for Bradley. You're never really out of a Group B mathematically. It's how does he return? We've seen it today from Bradley Roos, didn't we? And he was, well, not a happy camper, as you can
First
imagine,
leg,
after
it's Bradley to throw first.
being the only player not
Game
to win a
on.
game today in Group C. And it's just what it does to the mindset.
It'll feel like a long time before you can come back and try and put it
40.
right as well. And especially when you're playing the evening session, you've got all day just to sit around and think.
And simmer. And what could have been.
85.
But this is all very much part of, well, it could be said for both, a rebuilding process.
121.
There's no better place to figure things out but on the fly and in real time. Don't matter what you do in the practice room or in your bedroom or in the garage or in your man cave. It's all about what you do there under the lights.
$140.
If Bradley was to pick up the victory here, I do expect the disappointment of the earlier results will probably be too prominent for him, and he'd come off the stage disappointed, but in reflection would probably be very happy.
140.
Give himself a hope and some opportunity.
$44. Darius, you require 151. $65. Bradley, you require 156.
Just clips the top wire.
60. Darius, you require 86.
The insight we have is that we've all been there, haven't we? We know exactly every emotion he's going through. Double 16, double 8 for a 15 dart break of throw.
Game shot on the first leg. Darius
The hardest thing is to get out of that mindset once you're in it, to break that pattern and to break that cycle, which
second
you
leg.
can
It's
sit
Darius to
and
throw
come
first.
up with all the ideas when
Game
you're
on.
not in that scenario, but ultimately when you're there, you can't come up with anything. It's the old thing of every time you're going to go for a run, you think, well, I'm going to go do 10 miles. And when you're 2 miles in, you think differently. When the heartbeat's racing and the breathing picks up.
Yeah, it's like swimming against the tide, isn't it? That's what it feels like. You just don't feel like you can get
97.
anywhere. It is incredibly frustrating.
I like that one. The more PC version.
Yeah.
140.
Even after midnight.
$57.
Do you know the old, the non-PC alternative cricket commentary? Have you ever listened to that?
No.
Have you not? I'll find it for you tomorrow.
60.
I think it's only a thing you could do when you ultimately have made your money and you just want to walk away and have a bit of fun.
$100.
Treble 19 or treble 15's the shot. That's beautiful.
177.
He left a shot after 12 in leg 1. He's left a double after 12 in leg 2.
100.
Little
Darius, you
smirk, that
require
little smile
24.
across the face of Bradley Brooks wasn't because he felt happy.
$18.
He's just thrown
Bradley, you
3
require
absolutely
147.
perfect darts and nowhere near any of those. 90 left. This is what he missed for the 9. He hit the 54 and then missed the
91.
double 18.
Darius, you require 6.
This is horrible down here. Well, if you are going to go for it, you got to go for it.
Game shot on the second leg, Darius Labanauskas.
Last one in hand again, and you can see that war all over Bradley
Third leg,
Brooks.
it's Bradley to throw first. Game on.
Is the irony online gambling at its very finest here. Brooks takes this.
100.
Not logic, just guts. By logic, Darius should win easily, but I say Brooks. You should be a tipster, mate. Or a politician.
85. $180.
Well, that will make him feel a whole lot better.
$95. $60.
It is ironic that you think Bradley Brooks could leave today bottom of the table with 0 points when he missed out on Saturday night by leg
85.
difference.
Yeah,
Bradley
3 of
require
them, wasn't it?
161.
Plus 14 against plus 11.
87. $60. Bradley requires 74.
Double 10.
64.
Fortunately, it's been such a strong leg scoring for Brooks that he's given himself a bit of time, but
60.
I was going to say, won't be one
Bradley
to
required
give
10.
Darius a go on 76.
Game shot
As
on
it
the
is,
third leg. Bradley
finds the
Brooks.
double 5.
Fourth
Still to
leg.
come.
It's Darius to throw first.
Final match of the session.
Game on.
Cam Crabtree against Conor Henahan.
Crabtree looking to go through the card this evening and be unbeaten.
100. $100.
Someone asking, Richard, good shout this. Do we have any Lithuanian viewers in the chat? I'm pretty sure
60.
there will be. But do let us know where you're watching from.
$59.
You do get people tuning in from
43.
all over the world.
$58. $100.
Sure, we got viewers from
60.
Latvia and all the Baltic areas, and certainly tend to get people tuning in from America and Australia, New Zealand.
82.
Sure, there'll be people tuning in from various parts of the UK. Bradley Brooks, one of the
140.
popular players out there in
Darius
the various
require
circuits.
116.
Just a single required now for a dart at tops for Darius Labanauskas.
96. Bradley require 84. $72.
That was massive.
Darius, you require 20. Game shot on the fourth flag.
drama
Darius
at all.
Labanauskas. Fifth flag. It's Bradley to throw first. Game on.
Don't forget, we return at 1 p.m. with the conclusion of Group C.
108.
And then we're back again for the conclusion of this group at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Also tomorrow, of course, the Euro Tour returns in the Netherlands. We'll be keeping you abreast of all the action from there as and when it happens. We'll give you updates.
100.
This goes to show how much darts is available now, isn't it? We've had a triple dart in delight today, and we've got a quadruple one tomorrow.
60.
Correct. Had me thinking there. Well, one for you here. Predictions for the FA Cup final, lads. Is it Man City against Man United?
60.
That's correct.
I'll go Man City.
Yeah, I think you've got to go that way.
100. Bradley require 161.
Premier League champions, of course.
$86.
Brings it down handy.
Someone tuning in from... Oh, I'm very envious. Big up yourself, Kinsley.
57. Bradley
St.
requires
Elizabeth
75.
in Jamaica. What go on?
$69.
Who do I think is the best dart player in Ireland at the moment? Josh Rock or William O'Connor?
I think you've got to go with Josh, haven't you, at the moment?
Yeah, he's the highest ranked
98.
Irish
Bradley
player, of
requires
course.
6. Game shot on a fifth flag. Bradley Brooks.
Bradley just keeps his hopes alive here of being able to get some points on the board today and give himself some hope going into tomorrow.
Sixth flag. It's Darius to throw first. Game on.
Any dates for the next influencers event? I don't know. That's I'll have to ask Matt. That's his thing.
84.
There is going to be another one, though, isn't there? It was
yes, I believe
a very
so.
successful day, and there was loads of money raised, and everybody had a lot of fun. So
85.
I'm pretty certain there will be another one. A few players will be returning. A few new faces will be joining.
they were all new faces to me.
140.
Matt's thoughts on Killarney and the Irish Open Darts Festival that's held there.
Well, I mean, let's start with Killarney. What a place. I mean,
123.
you've been there many times as well.
Absolutely love it. One of my favourite tournaments to go to back in the day.
So the place is like a postcard, isn't it? Absolutely lovely.
It is stunning.
57.
Yep, no real complaints. Had a decent time over there. As always, every time you go to Killarney.
140.
We are Northern Irish, Mace, not Irish. Well,
100.
I think I said from Ireland.
Bradley require 153. $99. Darius, you require 120.
This for the match.
There's the treble. There's the single. Just needs the double to sign off with a very impressive win, and he does just that. Labanauskas finding the 120 out, gets the job done, and a really, really tough night for Bradley Brooks. Another decent enough average though, 90.91. 2 180s, 3 140s, 7 scores of a ton or more, but not enough. Right, coming up next, our final game of the session. Cam Crabtree takes on Conor Henahan.
Well, Thursday at the Modus Super Series is a day that has gone badly if your name is Bradley. Both Roos and Brooks ending their respective campaigns on the opening day of their groups without a win to their name, and there'll be some work to do tomorrow, that's for sure. It looks like the pair of them are likely to be heading home and not making it through to finals night, but it's been quite the opposite for Cam Crabtree, who's looking to stand tall at the top of the table without losing a match this evening. Shazam has been in fine form tonight, and a win against Conor Henahan in this evening's curtain closer will see him make it 4 wins from 4. Henahan, though, always a handful at the Super Series, and he will be looking to be the first to defeat Cam Crabtree. Chest out, ready for the big occasion, and always ready for the big occasion. Matthew Edgar and Chris Mason.
Thank you, Chris. How do I follow that? Well, Shazam has been the magic man tonight, and he's looking to go through the card in a win here, and he will have 1 foot in the final.
59.
Well, that would realistically be one of the places that Bradley Brooks would be unable to catch. Bradley Brooks not winning a game this evening, losing all 4
45.
fixtures. meaning there are only 8 points left to play for, and Crabtree would hit 8 if he wins this game.
Yeah, and there's a 15-leg swing
97.
between Crabtree and Brooks at the moment. +7 for Cam, -8 for Bradley.
140. 59.
I think Connor will be satisfied with
42.
his 4 points thus far, Matt.
I think it'll be one of those where if he loses this game, he'll leave here disappointed with 4.
60.
And a lot of the time, it depends where they come. If you get the 4 points by winning the last game, it's almost like relief. But I don't think at any point
100.
anyone would really be sort of happy ending on a loss. Just, again, watching Crabtree, he goes into full stance at the back of the hockey there. It's not like he just stands throwing a few darts. He actually goes into full, even with the back leg and how he approaches the hockey.
Yeah,
96. Cam, you require 145.
Full throw. And when he leans in, he has a little dip
40.
and climbs back up until he
78.
finds himself in that perfect position.
Game shot on the first leg, Connor Henahan.
Break a throw. A win for
Second
Connor,
leg,
of
it's
course.
Connor to throw first. Game on.
I mean, if it was a 4-0 win, he would go top.
100.
And it would be bad news for Van Schie and for Bradley Brooks.
Yeah, it'd be the worst result possible, wouldn't it?
140.
It would be bad for Van Schie because he won't play till tomorrow, till match number 3, which means players will have a chance to even extend further away from him before he gets a chance
45.
to take to the hockey.
$60. 60. 129. 70.
Crabtree looking to break straight back.
$58. 56. Cam, you require 114. Game shot on a second leg, Cam Crabtree. Third
That's the
leg,
way.
it's Cam to throw first. Game on.
Hit straight back. I keep looking at that thing on his shirt and I keep thinking it says Masons. Can't remember sponsoring him, that's for sure. That must have been some
45.
night.
You'll probably be wondering where your percentage is.
95. 59. 134.
We will be back in exactly 12 hours. UK time.
140.
It's decision day. The final 5 placers. Who will be joining Bo Greaves? Who will be the 6 players to battle it out for the
58.
largest prize in Super Series history, the £25,000? We will know the full lineup by around about this time tomorrow.
99.
Well, she'll be loving it, seeing everybody go through the ringer. Well, she relaxes and gets ready for her campaign on Saturday night.
140. Can you require 158? $134.
Beautiful setup
Connie
play there
require
from Crabtree.
74. Game shot on the third leg. Conor Henahan.
Oh, the breaks a throw continue. Can Henahan drive home
Fourth
the
leg.
advantage
It's
this
Conor
time?
to throw first. Game on. $140.
Celtic Warrior wants to know about how the groups are decided. It's done on the average you have in your qualifying week.
57.
If you're wondering how you qualify, go have a look at, I think it's Darts Atlas and the Amateur Darts Circuit. Give that a Google. Or look it up on social media.
60.
Our invites come from players who've been successful, whether it be on the WDF, the ADC, or the Challenge Tour and Dev Tour, or have qualified via the ADC prior and then made a finals night or produced some quality darts.
180.
Stepping it up now is Conor Henahan, and he's stepping it up to the man who's unbeaten in Cam Crabtree. Man who's not really put too much wrong this evening.
Game
Could
shot
be
on
on
the
the wrong
fourth
end of the
leg.
result.
Conor Henahan.
92, 92 and
Fifth leg,
102
it's Cam
the
to throw
stats so
first.
far for Crabtree.
Game on.
At the moment, Henahan, well, when getting opportunities, they're very good. Cam's took out the 114. That's his only dart at a double. Henahan, 3 from 4, 75%. Averaging 89.
100. 80.
Ideal.
125.
See the shake of the head. He can't believe he almost fell into that one, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like he was trying to play in off them, wasn't it? And just ultimately missed the barrel.
180. 100. Cam, you require 145.
To keep himself in the battle, this would be some conversion. 180 followed by the 145, which won't go.
$82.
Fine
Cam, you
last
require
start.
66.
We'll have to rely on Cam being unable to convert the 66, and that's perfect. Can he use it?
48.
94.
Connor, you require
For
94.
a comfortable 4-1 win. May go double-double. Well, he went for
37.
2 double 19s there,
Cam, you
Matt.
require 18.
Well, this is a target. I don't know many people who say they enjoy it. And that could be awkward with that flat lying dart. He's had to move across to the right-hand side, and it's a big adjustment.
9.
Which he can't make.
Connor, you require 57.
It's a single 17. We'll give him 2 at tops for a 4-1 win.
Game shot. And the match. Connor
He nails it. He doesn't go top of the table, but he does join the field at the top of the table on 6 points. An average of 88.67. But look at the finishing. Absolutely clinical. 4 from 5, 80%. So it is Henahan who does go top of the table by virtue of beating Crabtree. And to confirm that, we'll join the boys up on the balcony. Chris Murphy is with Matt Edgar.
Yeah, thanks, Mace. Look, it looked like this group was going to be less dramatic than the ones we've seen already this week, but that last result might change that.
I think it just got a bit edgy towards the end as well there. The last couple of games just felt a little bit stretched at times, and well, Conor Henahan's going to be delighted to have got over the line there and made sure that Cam Crabtree is within touching distance, because the last thing you want in this is a runaway winner. You want to be able to have all those positions open, because tomorrow there's going to be a lot of twists and turns and there's going to be a lot of nerves on show.
Has it been the nightmare scenario at the end of the night, though, for Bradley Brooks, losing that game and then he's 6 points away with only 8 to play for?
Absolutely. I think he's in big trouble now. He's going to need a lot of things to go his own way. That one win tonight could have just changed the whole complexion of this story for Bradley Brooks, but I do think it's mission impossible for him tomorrow.
Yeah, let's just give you a clear picture of that with the group table here. Bradley Brooks, bottom of it, on no points, and the top 3 go through. So as Matt just mentioned, it does look like mission impossible. Of course, not mathematically out of it, but the top 3 are going to take points off each other. There's not going to be many scenarios in which he can go through. But Jimmy Van Schie himself, he's 4 points behind. Are we looking at the top 3 as already having a foot in finals night?
It's very hard to argue that case, and the problem Jimmy Van Schie's got is he's third on tomorrow. So the scheduling doesn't work out well for him, because he's going to see people above him move on to 8 points before he's even got a chance to get onto the hockey. Now that could be a problem for him, because scoreboard pressure will really start to rise, and he may feel he's out of this before he even gets a game tomorrow. So he's just got to think about what he can do and just control what he can control, and maybe he's going to need to go through the cards just to give himself that real hope.
Well, for those who maybe haven't been with us all night, here is a recap of the results from this evening's action. Started with a lot of holds of throw, many one-sided affairs, a couple of close ones then towards the end of the night. How significant could a few of those 4-3 wins, particularly the defeats there for Van Schie and Brooks against Labanauskas and Henahan?
Well, we just saw on the league table there, the players at the top don't have that much of a difference in regards to the legs. So they could easily turn around tomorrow, just one heavy defeat or one good result for a player below, and we could see some real movement. We looked at results tonight where a player was in third position, could jump up to top of the table and vice versa. So I expect to see a lot of movement tomorrow. I'm still confident legs are going to play a play somewhere in this lineup.
Let's just talk in detail about a few of the players then. I always like asking you about Darius Labanauskas in particular. What have you made of him?
I don't like answering about Darius Labanauskas, if that helps. But yeah, he's been Darius Labanauskas, hasn't he? We said at the halfway point that we're not surprised, and we've seen everything we expect to see from Labanauskas. Solid, consistent, experienced are probably the best words I can use to describe him. And he's shown all that experience at times. He did go a couple of legs behind and clawed it back with quality darts. He is a very, very hard player to play. He plays at a pace that it's not slow. He's not a slow player. He's just got a more methodical pace about him, and he does things his own way. And when you stood behind him, it's a bit unsettling, and I think we saw that from his opponents tonight.
Cam Crabtree, who was the last player through, seems to have played better tonight than he did really in his qualifying week, apart from a couple of the games on finals night, and seemed a bit more consistent as well.
Consistency was definitely there, and I honestly thought he was going to go through the card tonight. He had the average of 102 in match number 3, and his first couple of games he averaged 92 in games 1 and 2. He just didn't turn up in that last one. Maybe the night just a little bit too long for him this evening, but he's done enough tonight. He'll be more than happy to leave here with 6 points, especially when you look at the player at the bottom of the table on 0. He will really fancy this chance now, not just of getting through to Saturday, but he's got to fancy his chance of getting his hands on that trophy.
Who have you seen today across the 2 sessions that maybe Bo Greaves, who's already booked her place at finals night, should and could be worried about?
I think the danger comes from this morning. It comes from the afternoon session. And I'm sticking with what I said on Monday. I think Reece Robinson is the player to beat right now from what we've seen from these 2 campaigns. He looked solid, he looked good, he looked explosive at times. Averages, very good. Big hitting, timing, and confidence. And I think that's the big key. He believes in himself. As long as he believes in himself, I think we've got to as well.
But remarkably tied with 4 of the players on 6 points. That Group C tomorrow, it's going to be some running, isn't it?
And that's where the confidence comes into it, because while everyone else might be nervous or looking at other people, I think Reece Robinson only cares about himself. And he believes if he does the right things and he turns up, he believes no one can beat him here. And while he's got that factor, it's going to carry him good. And he's going to need that tomorrow, because there's going to be times where you're going in a head-to-head clash that could decide the fixtures. Same in this group. It's all going to be up to play for.
Looking forward to it. We'll see you tomorrow. We hope to see you tomorrow as well. We will know the finalists at the Super Series 7 Champions Week, and it is going to be a grandstand finish. Both groups will conclude tomorrow. Group C gets underway from 1 p.m. live here on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel, and it is remarkably set for what should be a thrilling finale. We'll see you then.